What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Weird Stat Wednesday, where this week... Ew. Okay, so this weekend, the New York Metropolitans of Queens, New York at Citi Field became the first 100-plus win team to lose in the brand new Wild Card Series. It's a pretty bad look, and it got me thinking about those outlier teams throughout the history of baseball that won over 100 regular season games, but lost in the first round of the playoffs. The division series became a fixture of the MLB playoffs in 1995, and since then, there have been 40 teams to win over 100 games in a season. You can take 3 of those teams, the 2022 Dodgers, Braves, and Astros, out because they're still in the playoffs. From there, we have 37 teams to choose from, to look for those teams that won 100 plus games, but lost in their first series, which includes the 2022 New York Mets. But who else? As it turns out, literally almost half of them. Yes, somewhat unbelievably, 17 of the 37 teams since 1995 to win over 100 games lost in their first playoff series. But out of those 37 teams, 33 of them were considered the favorites to win the series. They had home field advantage. Many of them were the 1 seed in their respective leagues and playing against a wild card team. Yet despite all of those hefty advantages, they lost. Let's take a look at a few of them, shall we? First of all, Mets fans, I know this hasn't been a very fun video so far, but I got a special treat just for you. The 1999 Arizona Diamondbacks were the first team in the long, storied 2-year history of the franchise to reach 100 wins in a season. However, they came up against and were dominated in 4 games by the wildcard winning Mets, culminating in a walk-off homer in extra innings of Game 4. And the cherry on top was the manager of that Diamondbacks team being Buck Showalter. Speaking of the NL East, the Braves teams of the 90s and early 2000s dominated the division, and these rosters with Smoltz, Glavine, Maddox, Jones, other Jones, Furcal were just stacked. So naturally they went back-to-back seasons in 02 and 03 with over 100 wins, and managed to lose in the first round in both seasons. First to a San Francisco team that was admittedly great and made the World Series that season. Then they got the gang back together, ran it back, and won 100 games again, only to get embarrassed by a Cubs team that had no right beating them. Yikes. Don't worry, Braves fans, the Oakland A's have you covered. Famously, the 2001 Oakland Athletics rode a powerhouse lineup to a 102-win season, but they came up well short of their World Series goals. Cut to next year, the entire roster is gutted and rebuilt with leftover scraps from other teams, Moneyball happens, they win 103 games, but would fall to the Minnesota Twins in the ALDS. And I just gotta say, how embarrassing is that? Losing to the Twins in a playoff series? I mean, the Twins have a hard enough time winning playoff games, let alone series. And finally, my favorite stat of the video, there have been 2 teams since 1995 to win over 105 games but still fall in the divisional round. The San Francisco Giants won 107 games, somehow, in 2021. They lost in 5 games to their divisional rival Dodgers, who won 106 games. The other team to win 105 games and lose in the divisional series was the 2019 Dodgers. You know where I'm going with this.
It's a grand slam!
Stay weird.